The plane that crashed last night just outside of Pittsburgh is now known to have been the private jet of the Roottree Corporation. Local aviation authorities have speculated that from the pilot's final communications, the winter storm and heavy winds played a significant role in the crash. On board were multiple family members, including corporate president Carl Roottree and his daughters, the Roottree sisters, best known for their fashion lines and modeling careers. There were no survivors. Again, for those of you just joining us, the Roottrees are dead.
Hello everyone. My name is Hunter555. You can call me Hunter. And the Rootrees are dead. Welcome to a brand new game. I have no idea what this game is going to play like on stream. But I'll be perfectly honest, it was a free game in PC Gamer and it seemed interesting. So, here we are, I guess. I don't know what else to say. Welcome in everyone. Thank you Storm and Mythical for resubscribing at 19 and 23 months respectively. Is this a horror game or a mystery? It's very much a mystery and puzzle game, Storm. The vibe I got, I played it some very briefly just to get a feel for it, and then had a very hard time resetting it, just a bit before stream, and the vibe I got was very much Return of the Obra Dinn. So, I'm curious about it. I do wish to make clear, you are allowed to participate in this game. If you have suggestions or thoughts or ideas, please do put them in chat. Don't just tell me the answers. Don't just look up and tell me the answers. I mean, I'm not sure if you can look up the answers. This is just a web game. There is a Steam page for it. Music is a little loud. There we go. Let me know how that is, Cosmic. There is a Steam page for it, but it's not been released on Steam yet. If you do bang Roottree or bang RT in chat, you will get a link to the free version of the game that's just on the website. I didn't bother linking to the Steam page because, like I said, it's not active. There didn't seem much point. Thank you, Cosmic. Sorry, Storm. Cosmic beat you to it. So, yeah, I'm curious about this game. I don't know if it'll become a longer series or if this will be just the one stream. The impression I got was that people took a while to play it, but they got quite sucked in, so I might continue playing it, but I might also play this one game, decide it's not for me. If things like game sounds are... Thanks, Pax! Thanks for pointing that out. If the sound's too loud or too quiet, if there's stuff covered in the game by either the Pokemon extension or the Twitch bar at the bottom, then please do let me know because I won't notice. But apart from that, Addy has been streaking for 10 streams. Addy, put some clothes on. I never thought I'd say that. This is an After Dark stream because it's a murder mystery. I thought it would be more suitable. Pax is just saying what we were all thinking. Necrophilia in under 10 minutes, not bad. I know, there must be some kind of record for me. Right, shall we just jump in? There is no voices. It's very point and click adventure type of game. Nobody expected those girls, rest their souls, to die so young. The Roottree Candy Company's lawyers are scrambling. I'm here to find help for what's next. Anyone who's a Roottree blood relative is about to get wealthier, a lot wealthier. It's important to verify who's who. I hear you're an expert at sorting out family trees. I'm going to give you a quick test. If you pass, you get the job. Game sound down a little. There we go. Let me know if that's better. It doesn't sound particularly loud to me. It's interesting that it's quite loud for you guys. I'll try turning that down a bit. Turn that down a bit, and then I'll turn these back up a bit. Right. So, fill in the names, pictures and occupations of the Roottree sisters. Siblings join the family tree from oldest to youngest, so oldest, middle, youngest sibling, and then I'm guessing the oldest is married. Non-blood relative, so that's words wet static together. What's wrong with wet static, Cosmic? The evidence in your possession appears here. Person who hired you gave you this photo with a note attached. This was taken during the shoot for the Roottree Sisters Got Milk ad. I've tracked down a test photo from before they painted the fake mustaches on, which I thought would be more appropriate considering the circumstances. The ad's copy read, "You might recognise our faces from the magazine you're reading, or you might recognise our name from the candy bar you're eating. Being a Roottree is a full-time job, but so is growing up. That's why the calcium found in milk is so important. Plus you can't make chocolate without it." You can search the internet from here and notes here. On each page, other than this one, you can jot down important information such as names, family relationships, marital status, sibling count, or anything else you'd like to remember. Page titles can be renamed to make it easier to remember what you've written on each one. You can copy and paste, Control-C and Control-V. Entire contents of your notepad are saved even if you quit the game. Don't forget to check them when you return. Siblings are people who share the same parents. Cousins share the same grandparents, but not the same parents. Second cousins share the same great-grandparents, but not the same grandparents. And third cousins share the same great-great-grandparents, but not the same great-grandparents. K to 12 stands for kindergarten to 12th grade. This includes all schooling from ages 5 to 18. And then, okay. There's just 7 pages. Okay. Do not currently have any faces available to add to the family tree. Faces can be collected from photos in your evidence file. Ah! Apologise for the white flashes there. Damp cracking it is, Cosmic! Wet static is when the moist pipe doesn't send a signal clearly enough. Let's stop being mean to Cosmic. We like Cosmic. You can search the internet from here. Oh, that's gonna make people feel old. That's going to make people feel old. Right, connect to the World Wide Web. Which URL would you like to visit? Use the post-its below. It's set in 1998. Yes, Cosmic, we love you. Right, spider search. Insert keywords. I don't know. Roottree? I knew that you guys would react to that sound. The moment I heard it, I knew. First few pages are filled with news results about the plane crash. Countless advertisements and conversations about the various products made by Roottree Candy Company. Most articles mentioned Carl Roottree, who was the president of the Roottree Candy Company. His daughters are also eulogized, collectively referred to as the Roottree Sisters. They've been famous from a very early age. I think that's nudging us to search for Roottree Sisters. A lot of obituaries focus on their modelling careers. Also come across an unofficial fan site seemingly curated by a teenager. It's neon pink with purple text and hard to read until you highlight the words. The young webmaster writes, "What a name, Rihanna. Rihanna is the most famous because she's the oldest and got married to TMS, whoever the fuck TMS is. Riley is the smart one. Rose is a middle child like me. Might think they are rich just because they are models, but their dad is also the president of the candy company. And their mum Brenda is a fashion designer. They do the modelling for her brand Root. Eat Roottree candy all the time, favourite are maple crisps, and try to dress in plaid root clothes like Riley does in most of the posters. Someday I want to get my ears pierced like Rose. Website author continues to talk about her own life and what she likes about the Root fashion line, but none of it's relevant. Okay, so we know that... So we learnt a few things there. Rihanna is the oldest, Rose is the middle child, and Riley must be the youngest. Try wet static or... No relevant results. Damp cracking. No relevant results. Could be moist snapping instead. Like how they captured the odd buzz that were normal of computers back then. Thank you, Storm. Right, so the goes from left to right. Oldest. So oldest was Rihanna. Is that how it's pronounced, Rihanna? Right. Is this? This looks like it's alphabetical by surname. Anderson, Bean, Carlson, Cattrall. Yeah, this is alphabetical by surname. And then first name. Okay, so we want Rihanna. Rihanna. Rose. Rose. Rihanna. Riley. Robert. Ronald. Samantha. It was Rose with an H, wasn't it? Yeah. Music's a bit loud for me now, that saxophone. Okay, let's put Riley in, because we know Riley's the youngest. We're gonna have to listen to that noise every time we open the computer. Rose is a middle child like me. Okay. Rihanna is most famous because she got married. She's the oldest and got married to TMS. Married. So this must be TMS. I'm guessing TMS isn't going to be under T. No. Search for Rose Roottree. Not as popular as her older sister Rihanna, but still very well known. Lumped together as the Roottree sisters. The results for Rose by herself don't lead to anything different than when searching for the sisters together. If you're having trouble finding someone in the list of names that your employer provided, doing a deeper dive on what you learn about them will often lead to additional discoveries. Good research tip is to make notes of any brand names, books, product lines, or magazines that you don't recognise and search for them. These searches will sometimes help directly, even when they don't, you'll usually get additional context. Thomas Sheridan? TMS! Nice, guys! Well done! Tommy Mark Sheridan, a 90s teen heartthrob. Skyrocketed to popularity after his starring role on the sitcom Brother Trouble. Often been on the cover of tabloids for his supposed drug use, and more recently his relationship with Rihanna Roottree. For a short engagement, and they married in 97 when she was only 19 and he was 20. Oh my god. This is set in 1998. The oldest sister was 20. The oldest sister was 20. Oh god, that's sad. That's really sad. Okay. So it's said to look up things like brands. So what if we just search root? Is it case sensitive? Root is a pretty common word, although searches are not case sensitive. If you're searching for something specific, you should keep an eye on how it's spelled and punctuated. The clothing company Root always has a period after it, even if it's not at the end of a sentence. If you're searching for a name, most of the time you'll need the full name, but sometimes if someone goes by a nickname, searching for their nickname is the only way to find results. So presumably if we searched TMS, we'd get... Yeah, we'd get... Okay. So if we search Root, period... Clothing company. Clothes for children, from toddlers to teenagers. Website is down, likely to use to increase traffic. Find countless retail sites attempting to advertise their clothes towards the target audience. We spied the Roottree sisters looking hella fly on catalogues, magazines and posters. Now you two can be like the sisters, I'm not going to keep reading those names. Website from a collector of clothing catalogues. Apparently Root has released 2 catalogues per year every year since 1984. Rihanna appeared on almost all of them. Only one that the webmaster considers a collector's item enough to mention. Brenda Roottree, the Roottree sisters' mother and Root's head designer, appeared on one cover holding her daughter Rose in 1985. The site says this is the only time her daughter was ever listed with her birth name, Carly. Carly. So if we go down to Roottree, Carly Roottree, okay. Pax, the eldest sister who died was only 20 years old. That felt like something I needed to briefly go more somber for. If briefly. Should we go back to that fan site? Let's see. That's irrelevant. Most famous because she's the oldest. Riley's the smart one, Rose is the middle child. I don't think you can really tell who's the oldest in this picture. They all look fairly similar. Modelling for Root. Dress in plaid Root clothes like Riley does. I want to get my ears pierced like Rose. Pierced ear. Plaid clothing. The final one. Okay. So, Rose is the one with the pierced ear. Rose is Carly. Riley was plaid, and Rihanna was the final one. Think. Because they are models. Right there, because they are models. So they're all models. Model. 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 Well, this is very Return of the Obra Dinn. Any optional names and portraits you have correct will be locked and removed from the pool. Booyah. That was pretty simple, but I had to make sure you knew how to use the internet. Some people refuse to get with the times. Anyways, you got the job. If you fill in the rest of the tree, the pay is significant, set for life significant. So what's the catch? Rootrees go way back. The family tree is a bit daunting. Most people freak out the first time they see the whole thing. I'm sure you'll be fine. I know, Storm. Oh, this is definitely not tech that's older than me. Definitely not. I promise it's not. The man who started it all was very particular with who he considered family, so lucky for you, only his direct blood relatives matter. Means anyone who married into the Rootrees is completely optional, but filling them in can be extremely useful. To help you out, I've given you access to some special websites. I've also made a list of notable Rootrees. Notable people are easy to find via your search engine and easy to place on the trees because they're marked with stars. Going to sort through Carl Roottree's things, see if there's anything relevant to your search. I'll be back in the time it takes you to fill out 6 blood relatives. That's an odd way to measure time. We haven't filled anyone out yet. How fast does she think we work? If anyone else claiming to represent the Rootrees reaches out, I'd appreciate you not mentioning I was here. Thanks again and good luck. Mysterious. Okay. Okay, it's marking all the important people. This is bouncing all over the place. Okay. It's quite big. The section in the white dotted area will only unlock when the rest of the tree is complete. Includes 2 names that you will have to type in manually. Clues are obscure, have been intentionally hidden in the past, and may even require some leaps in logic. Try to keep an eye out for any inconsistencies. Only verify successes after 3 completely correct blood relatives. Name, occupation, and picture. Non-blood relatives and small pictures are optional, but placing them on the tree helps remove extra names and photos. Married, divorced, guardian, adoption or otherwise. Stars mark notable root trees. Once this blood relative is verified, they will allow you to place optional bonus photos. See Rihanna as an example. And then it's oldest to youngest. So, older, younger, older, younger, older, younger, younger still. Okay. See Rihanna. Oh, I see. Huh, interesting. Okay. So, this gives me the full list of names and tells me who I've... Okay. Text. Roottree sisters: Carl, Elias and Gwyneth, Gwyn, Red, Jim, Lauren and Miracle Jr. All these to find online. Okay. Miss. Are those hints? I don't want to click on that. Roottree 5 pieces. Been around for almost a century. Blue raspberry, chocolate, power plum, sour apple, very cherry strawberry. That's very hard to read font. Name 5 pieces, and the idea of 5 special flavours is because the original inventor had 5 kids. 5 flavours now may not be the same as back then, but we consider that a good thing. Just think of them as evolved. What even is an elderberry anyway? From the magazine Teen Blast, named as such because the original creator had 5 kids, also mentions that the current 5 flavours are not the same as back then. Intuition. Been in this line of work a long time, so long in fact you've developed a 6th sense for how useful your evidence can be. The numbers in the magnifying glass refer to how many clues are connected to a specific piece of evidence. The higher the number, the more you can find. The start of your search, the notables list sets off alarm bells. List of famous people that you can find via a search engine. It's pretty rare to get something that useful. Best take advantage of it. No, they didn't, Lewis. No worries, Mythical. Thank you for coming in. As you progress, however, these numbers will change. Whenever you find more evidence or verify family members, new discoveries will be added to the list and old evidence will become less useful. Trust your intuition. If a piece of evidence seems too good to be true, take a close look at the people or phrases it mentions. Often the most satisfying revelations come from retracing a path you thought was fully explored, armed with a new perspective. Sometimes the reason certain evidence is such high value is because it could lead to finding more evidence. You may be missing a huge piece of the puzzle. Okay. So here's the thing. We know blood relatives are the only ones who can inherit this thing, right? And we know, like, if we go onto the internet and search Roottree, Carl Roottree was the president of the Roottree Candy Company. His daughters are also eulogized. So we know that the dad was, if we go down to R, Carl Roottree. Job. President 5th, I guess? 5th, 4th, 3rd. And what was the wife's name? What was the wife's name? She ran the clothing company. Brenda. She's not a blood relative, though. Oh, that's interesting. It makes you do it by maiden name. So there's a Brenda White. There's only one Brenda. Okay. So we can put Brenda White in here. Okay. That's the only picture we've got at the moment. Let's look up Carl Roottree and see what we get. Carl Roottree. Died in the recent plane crash, along with his wife Brenda, their daughters, the Roottree sisters, president of the Roottree Candy Company, as well as the clothing company Root, which he co-founded with his wife. Short press release that the Roottree Candy Company released today to news organisations. We mourn the loss of Carl, Brenda, the Roottree sisters, and the other employees that perished in this terrible tragedy. Entire Roottree family is in shock and requesting privacy at this time. Head of our company, Carl was an incredible man and an unmatched leader. Filling his absence will be difficult and may take considerable time. In the interim, we hope that you join us in looking back fondly on Carl and his family's triumphs and accomplishments. Go on to list some of those accomplishments. One of them seems relevant to your search. Like his great-grandfather before him, Carl earned the highly prestigious Watchman of the Year. Like his great-grandfather, Watchman of the Year. Business Watch magazine focused on company CEOs in the economy, around for over 100 years, and one from another. Wife wouldn't be a blood relative unless they went full Habsburg, or at least partial Habsburg. Been around for over 100 years and one from another, and will often write about major changes in management of famous companies. Every year they offer an award to a prominent businessman who has furthered the fields. Find through a few searches that two Rootrees have been featured as Watchmen of the Year, Elias and Carl. Does not host any online archives on any site you can find via spider search, and may be able to find individual articles and issues through your periodical search. Elias. Oh. Hold on. Elias Roottree. Did I see a junior? There's an Elias Roottree Jr. Okay. Hold on. Father, grandfather, great-grandfather. Yeah. Okay. Periodicals. Business Watch. Okay, Carl. Voted Watchman of the Year in '87. Cover and a summary of the article has been added to your evidence. Okay, and if I do Elias... 1936 for his accomplishment of rolling out 5 pieces to a global market. Notes from the article and the scans someone made of the cover have been added to your evidence. There we go, this is Carl Roottree. Chosen not for his work at Roottree Candy, but rather a clothing company. Carl's wife Brenda was a fashion consultant. Rihanna was born. Brenda retired. Spent any free time sewing the machine. New clothes were hit with other parents, including Carl's cousin Jim. So, Jim would be 1, 2, 3. One of them. Right? Yeah. Let's make a note of that. Because... full Alabama! I think they've deliberately avoided that. So Jim is Carl Roottree's cousin. Brenda's plans were being copied by other brands, seeing that a man Carl and his second cousin Ernie Jr., who had just become president of Roottree at the time. Okay. Ernie Jr. equals Carl's second cousin. President of Roottree. Where did you get Jim was a singer? Oh, a notable singer. Notable singer who had a young daughter around the same age as Rihanna. Okay. Okay. Other blood relatives who have a say in the company's finances refused to fund anything other than candy, so Carl personally spent his entire inheritance to bankroll the clothing company. When the profits began to appear, however, the rest of the family changed their tune. They repaid his investment, and now Root exists under the umbrella of the candy company, and they all benefit. New clothes always debuted the way the first ones did. Rihanna became their catalogue's cover model. As she grew, the product line expanded to older kids as well. Younger sisters were then recruited to shove the baby clothes. Okay. We'll take him. Elias. Painting of him appears on the cover. He was voted Watchman of the Year, specifically to recognise the global rollout of 5 pieces. 1908. Forms the Roottree Candy Company after marrying his wife, who inherited a maple farm. During the period before 5 pieces, the company is barely profitable. Okay. Elias has a daughter, the first of 5 children. Eldest child equals daughter. 1 of 5. Okay. Invents 5 piece. Each of the 5 flavours is chosen based on the initials of his 5 children. Original flavours of 5 piece equal initials of each child. Okay. Yes, I'm big on nested parentheticals. I'm sorry. 5 pieces are first sold in some Pittsburgh markets, rolled out to all of New England. New recipe and flavour is finalised. Candy begins nationwide distribution in department stores and other candy shops everywhere. Purchases every bit available Maple Farm in Pennsylvania in preparation for global rollout. Help of his son Elias, Roottree Jr.'s architecture firm. A new industrialised factory and warehouse are built in Butler County. Production is tripled and worldwide distribution begins. Elias is going to pivot to ensuring his company's legacy and that the Roottree Candy Company remains a family business. He plans to do this with the Clansed Trust? Okay, so... son Elias Roottree Jr. Was an architect. Something about... hold on, let's actually... Trust used to ensure it remained. Family business. I will stop apologising, Elias. Okay. So, I think it's fairly safe to say first president. But what we'll do, if we can, Elias Roottree. Founder and first president of the Roottree Candy Company. Find what is essentially a propaganda site about him created by the company. There are a picture of him and his wife Gwyneth. Also a biography section that's some additional information. Credited for inventing 5 pieces. After 5 pieces became wildly successful, spent his time and energy on cementing his reputation as a family man. Blood is thicker than syrup. Any child linked by blood to me shall be linked by blood to my legacy. The user claims that he made good on that promise, but offers no additional details. Like his great-grandson Carl, Elias was voted Watchman of the Year. We've already covered that. Okay, so if I go into photos, Elias and Gwyneth. Taken in 1909, after they founded it, before it was a success. Seems quite difficult to find any site about Elias or Gwyneth that isn't accompanied by this picture. Elias and Gwyneth are on notable root trees listed in your evidence. They'll be marked on the tree with a star. Let's just quickly look up. No, that's wrong. I want down here. Go. Oh. There's 2 Gwyneths. There's Gwyneth Anderson and Gwyneth Madsen. Okay. The first Anderson Maple Farm. It's Gwyneth Anderson. He did look a bit like Draco Malfoy, yeah. Gwyneth Anderson, no brothers, so as the older sister she was to inherit the Anderson Maple Farm so long as she married. Supposedly Elias's idea to create candy instead. Success was not immediate. Been preserved as a tourist attraction. There are still daily demonstrations and educational tours that show off many of the turn of the century appliances that Gwyneth would have used as a housewife. So Gwyneth Anderson. Job. House, not farmer. Housewife. So we think President 5th. We go. That also unlocks the other picture for Elias. So I can put that in there. Okay. And, oh, they go yellow when you've got them. Okay, cool. Cool. Okay. So we've done the Roottree sisters, we've done Carl, we've done Elias and Gwyneth. So shall we do Gwyn Roottree now, I guess? Just work our way down the list. Oh, it's 2 ends. Information on a website about old films that are not yet available on VHS. Not very well organised. The search is broken, but you can get to an individual pages from your search engine. Gwyn Roottree is a somewhat well-known actress who was active in the 1950s, often appeared in tabloids, especially around the time of her highly publicised divorce. Gwyn was the granddaughter. Granddaughter. Okay. Shouldn't have been named Roottree, but her father took her mother's famous name. Maternal. Actress. Divorced. Guys like us left Hollywood after the flop of Christmas Mission. Okay. Photos. She'll be marked on the tree with a star. She's a granddaughter, so she's on this line here. So, but not that one because they're not divorced. So I reckon it's this one because they're divorced. They're the only one who's divorced. Gwyn Roottree. Job. There's no option for actress, so I'll put actor. Okay. So we know that this is a woman and this is a man because he took her name despite the fact that that was quite uncommon at the time. Okay. Yes, Cosmic? Subpipe? Oh, sorry, I thought I'd... No, that's fine. I just didn't realise I hadn't... I heard the wolf howl and apparently didn't read it. Yeah, I don't know. The earlier ones, Storms and Mythicals, they sounded okay. At least I thought they did. Alcorn, thank you for resubscribing for 24 months. I really appreciate that. Sorry, I heard the wolf. I looked over. I saw the sub and apparently didn't say anything. I do apologise. Interestingly enough, the knocking one's actually okay. You can get away with it, but the others are not quite as pleasant. Okay. What does dotted line mean? Doesn't say. Okay, so mother was the fourth old. Okay. Of 5. Gwyn Roottree mum equals 4 of 5. Okay. We also know the eldest child was a daughter, so we can say unknown female there. How long do we put up with the sound issues before we go nuclear? What was nuclear again? I've forgotten the nuclear option. I think I want to say the nuclear option was just... I mean, you're right, Scotsman, but I don't actually remember what the nuclear option was. I'm very forgetful about that kind of thing. There's no mention. What if I put mother? No relevant results. Okay. Not sure what's the difference between the green and yellow cameras. Rebuild your OBS. Oh. I'm not sure how much impatience that's going to take. I know what I'm like. I will keep putting off the problem. And the idea of rebuilding my OBS is quite daunting at the best of times. You will have to ask me at a time when my calendar isn't quite as full. Because at the moment, I don't know when I'm going to do a lot of things. Red Roottree. And I did note the quote marks. What? Aloysius Herring Roottree, aka Red, was an appointed judge and politician who earned his nickname ironically because he was the ambassador to Ireland for only 6 days. He served what some people contend is the shortest term in history. He was heard disparaging his position and the Irish people a few days after he was appointed. Tried to run for state senate, claimed to be related to the Roottree Candy Company in a newspaper ad, but it came out that the last name was merely a coincidence and he was defeated in a landslide. Okay. So if I go into here, not mentioned in the list. Red herring. Yeah. Aloysius. 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 But yeah, his name's Red Herring. His name is Red Herring. But okay, he's irrelevant then. He's not related. That was a waste of my time. Why would you include him on the list? Sorry. That caught me by surprise, that cough. James Roottree is a singer who sings in the duo Jim and Diamond with his wife Diamond LaRue. The duo, according to many sources you find, is considered a one-hit wonder due to the disco song Rollin' On Down to the City, now in your evidence folder. Although Jim writes the majority of songs and plays the guitar and often sings, Diamond is considered by fans to be the band's singer. The band never had another hit, but has its fans who refer to themselves as Diamond's Dazzlers. The rest of the music is more folksy and acoustic than the one song they were known for. Continues to release music through the 80s and early 90s. Cherry Tree, Sound of Laughter. But Jim has become a bit of a recluse, hasn't made a public appearance since 96. Okay. Whoa! Oh, there we go. Okay, let's call this close relatives. Wife equals Diamond LaRue. No worries, Pax. Thank you for stopping by. You sleep well. Scotsman. Shush. Roll on down to the city now in your evidence folder. Barely a top 20 hit for a few weeks in 79. According to the liner notes, it satirises how a part of society was content to remain indifferent, economic inflation and civil unrest in the Middle East. Unless pop culture tricked them into caring. Somewhat ironically, listeners didn't seem to pay attention to the lyrics enough to trick them into caring. Instead, most of its play came from roller discos. Because it was such a product of its time, it doesn't get much play anymore, even on stations that play oldies. So maybe that's why you'd never heard of it before now. This image is from an auction for a sealed copy. There's a sticker that says, only the great-grandson of Elias Roottree could make disco this sweet. Credited to Peter Janowicz from MMM. Jim Roottree is on the notable Roottrees list in your evidence. He'll be marked on the tree with a star. The lyrics of this song contain no clues. Song continues even after closing evidence.
We're rolling, rolling, rolling on down to the sea.
Saturday night and you're quite a sight.
The world might be burning, but I'm feeling right.
Making ends meet, so they rent and
We can't afford gas, so we skate in the streets.
guys all rush to say that I'm pretty.
Ladies blush and find me so witty. They're out of luck tonight, what a pity. We're rolling, rolling, rolling on down to the sea.
On wheels we glide with you by my side.
Inflation is rising, and so is our pride.
Pick our own fate, make love not hate.
We're rolling, we're rolling,
Oh, there we go. Trying to figure out how to stop that. I skip it. Okay, that's interesting. Let's hope it's not copywritten. Right, I saw musician was in this list, so if I put musician. Because I've only got two main people, which is those two. This one doesn't count. Yeah. Okay, that makes more sense now. Okay, so I need to get one more to get the next marker. But because my I've come up on an hour, my ad's going to run shortly. I am going to take a short break. I strongly encourage you folks to do the same. Just a few minutes away from the screen. Top up your drinks, get a stretch, rest your eyes, same as me. And I will speak to you all shortly. Welcome back, everyone. I hope we all had a good break. Right. We need to try and get one more person, and then we can find out if we've got the other people right. So I suppose we go to Lauren Roottree. Lauren Roottree. Lauren. Distant relative of the sisters, known for her book A Life Between Wars. Lauren released a few romance novels under her married name, Lauren Rafferty. A distant relative. So second or third cousin. Yes, but they've got 2 kids, but I don't know, because I mean I can check Elle, I suppose. There's Jane and Kim LaRue. What if we search LaRue? Diamond. No, it just brings up the same article. Let's look up the albums. And the other one was called Sound of Laughter. Can't even find a picture of the cover. It doesn't appear to have been very successful. Liner notes exist on a Jim Roottree fan page. It states that lyrics and guitar are credited to Jim, vocals credited to Diamond. Could look at this name. See if that name has any significance. Find him mentioned on a fan website about a band unrelated to the Roottrees. Used to work for Modern Music Monthly before the magazine went under. They flood the results, okay. LaRue sisters got their start doing session work for their great uncle's record label. They were probably involved in anything that featured voices of kids. The lucky LaRues, now that he's passed, they've moved on to bigger and better ventures, can go by their full names. Diamond and Jane, been touring with some famous faces. Looking to release an album sometime in the next year. Youngest Kim is about to step into a prominent role on Broadway, taking over one of the children in Oliver. Kim LaRue. Oh wait, I need to do that. Kim LaRue. No relevant results. So there's a Kim LaRue and there's a Kim LaRue LL. Kim LaRue there. And there's a Jessica and Katrina Rafferty LaRue. Rafferty. That name could be important. Rafferty. I think we're best off going for Lauren Roottree. Though I like your thinking tree, Purple. Lauren Roottree. So she's a distant relative of the sisters, which would mean second or third cousin. Second or third cousin of sisters. Actually, let's... released a few romance novels under her married name, Lauren Rafferty. To little fanfare, when a publisher learned she had been keeping diaries about her famous family, they insisted she release them under her original name to take advantage of her family's notoriety. Diary entries released in '65, Life Between Wars, spans from the untimely death of her husband in World War II to coping with the post-war world. Okay, if she's a distant relative of the Roottree sisters, then maybe she's not a second or third cousin. If her husband died in World War II, coping with post-war world as a young widow and mother, perspectives on changing times and socialites all the way through the entry into Vietnam, while the content is not considered particularly relevant to modern audiences. New life is an exercise in high school English classes to show an evolution in writing style for a look into life in the previous generations. Re-release of the romance novels under the name Romance in Court, which gained popularity. She followed the re-release up by writing 2 new sequels, the Court Jester series. You find no recent details about Lauren though, she is listed as retired. Okay. So I need to use both. Life Between Wars. A Life Between Wars. So the book occasionally taught in schools. You even find a hardcover edition for students that has full-page, high-quality pictures in it. Summary of the contents of the book, photos, as well as some particularly relevant entries from the diary have been added to your evidence. Nice! No Kim Roottree. Okay, photos. The 5 pieces. Was famous in our house, Pop even had it framed. It's him on the left. Taken in 1935 to celebrate the move to the new warehouse that Eli Jr. designed. Angie and I both wanted to be in the photo since Miracle was in it and the 3 of us were all about the same age. Only the 5 pieces, which really didn't go over well to say the least. Eventually, I suppose to stop the tantrums, they posed us in front of the camera with Mr. Morden, who was there with Aunt Gwendolyn. Found out years later that they never even took a second photo. So that's Lauren's father. And this is a person named Miracle. At a guess, this is I reckon that's Eli Jr. But I don't think we know how old Eli... No, we don't know how old Eli was. But I think we can probably assume that this is Miracle. Miracle is apparently a boy's name. Who knew? Okay, so we know that's Miracle. Okay. So Elias Jr. has to be one of these two. Wait, hold on. Lauren was notable and Miracle Jr. is notable, so this must be Miracle Jr. That must be Miracle Jr. Which would mean this has to be Lauren. Is retired an option? No. Let's put author in then. Which would make this her father. But we don't know who the father is. But that would put this one as Eli, which we're guessing is him, so Elias Roottree Jr. was an architect. There we go. There we go. You're on a roll. I'm here to hopefully keep that going. A picture of the Rootrees family reunion from the 70s. Carl's office was a mess due to some pipes breaking, but I also found some papers. This is important. 9 blood relatives so far. I'll have a bit more to share after 9 more. Even with new evidence, don't forget the notable root trees. Even family members who've already placed on the tree can sometimes help you with just a bit more research. Okay, duly noted. The yellow means that I've identified them. The next generation. Lauren's diary contains some labelled pictures. This is the next generation. Attempt to recapture the spirit of the 5 pieces photo with our generation. For old time's sake, we gathered on the warehouse floor. Wanted Eli to stand all the way on the left, since to me he looked a lot like Pop did in the old one. But I was outvoted by my brothers. They insisted the 4 of us stand together, and so we clumped up in the middle and let everyone filter in behind and in front of us. The only one too good to make an appearance was Gwyn. Grandma insisted we include Sam, even if we didn't want to. None of us understood why, including Sam. I also didn't think it fair. Miracle made it in since he's technically a 5-piece. Guess my inner child still holds a grudge even after all these years. Sorry for the flashing that's about to occur. Oh! This photo has a note attached from your employer. Every 20 or so years, the Rootrees would hold a big reunion and recreate an old family photo. This is the one from the 70s, and Carl's the teenager in the middle. Sorry about the water damage and pipe burst in Carl's office. Back of the photo in childish print writing, it says November. There are also a large number of cursive signatures. They include Bonnie, next President Guy Hudson, Ernie Jr., Caroline, Gwyneth M., Gwendolyn, Miracle Jr., Jim Roottree, Clark, Carl, and Eli M. Carl's the teenager in the middle, which I assume means that one. Yeah, I'd say those look quite similar. It's gonna flash a lot again, I apologise. Paris. This photos are not attached from your employer. Here's a bonus. When I pulled the water damage picture of the free spirits out of the frame, this fell out too. Written on the back of the photo is, couldn't make the reunion, wishing you well from Paris, Gwyn and the boys. Photo came with a letter, postmarked a few years ago. Carl had the letter framed and kept the photo nearby. The letter says, "It's Carl and Brenda. I'm sorry that you were unable to make it to the funeral. It's tradition to have it within 24 hours, and Ernie, more than anyone else on earth, knew how busy your job can be. Ernie was a man full of love, not for not only his family, but his family's legacy. An immense amount of pride for the work you three did together, as well as how Carl has carried on for him after taking over. Possible to express my gratitude enough for rescuing us from the panic and burden of endless bills. Though it was caught too late for him to get on the donor list, the company took care of us beyond our wildest expectations. Unsaid at the time, Ernie and I knew it had to have been Carl that convinced the trust, and that it was no coincidence that it happened shortly after your visit, Brenda. Until the end, Ernie and I had to stay strong, especially for Nicole's sake. We could never have done that without the two of you fighting for us." So this must be Debbie, and this must be Nicole. Yeah, that's Lauren Roottree right there. And that must be her husband. Published in 1965, was the loss of her husband Jacob. Jacob Rafferty. Yes, Rafferty. Okay. She was granddaughter of Elias Smith on her father's side. Mother's family was called the Cossells. Hardly ever mentions them. It must be this Sarah Cosell. That's the only Cosell there in the list. It's basically like trying to figure out this family tree with 90s internet. Yes, Addy. Hello, CJ. Welcome on in. I mean, we're making decent progress. Making faster progress than I was expecting. Father, who she always refers to as Pop, was the head lawyer for the Roottree Candy Company and helped write a legal document called the Clancid Trust. Have internal shorthand names for their different generations of their family. Lauren uses them often. 5 pieces. First generation of children. The next generation was Lauren's generation. The Free Spirits was the generation after Lauren's, including her son. Son Clark. No, I don't want a picture. Clark Rafferty. Okay. Father was the head lawyer. But we don't know his name yet. Yes, Addy, let's hope. Complaints from Rootree's diary. Family members Gwyn. Gwyn, as an only child, complained of loneliness. Told her that being expected to watch after 3 younger brothers didn't feel like a blessing, but it fell on deaf ears. Where I went to stay with her and Aunt Margot. No, not those. Roottree. There's Margalite Roottree. Yep. I'm just skim reading this. She's the first Roottree woman to be anything other than a housewife. So Gwyn's mother was Margot. And was a housewife. As was this one, by definition. Yeah, it's a lot less gruesome than I was anticipating, to be perfectly honest. I wasn't really sure what we were getting into. I didn't know much about the game, so I didn't really know what was coming. I'll still leave it at After Dark, because there's the risk of heavy topics coming up, and I mean, I'm still not sure how I feel about the fact that these, like the oldest daughter was younger than me now, and I'm not exactly known for being on the older side when she died. No, still, no, I know. Don't you worry, I'm aware. Okay. Dynasty. Today, her grandfather Elias announced he would be stepping down. Clancy told me that everyone got quite heated. Grandad was furious none of his sons would take over as president, but that's what he gets for holding on to it so long. With architects, preachers and lawyers, nobody's got time for candy. With the 5 pieces refusing to step up, it came down to us next gens. Argued at length that the company should stay with our branch of the family since we still have the Roottree name. I'm not even sure Clancy would have wanted it, but he's the one who was volunteered. It ended up going to Zach, even though his surname doesn't match the candy. He's the firstborn son of the firstborn 5-piece. Not sure how that's relevant to running a company, but Grandad has always had very particular views when it came to bloodline. Asked Clancy if it ever came up that a woman could take over. Angie's older than Zach, and I'm next oldest of all of us, but he just laughed. Okay. Never forget the cuss words Pop used when he told Mara it wouldn't go to us. Maybe they wanted to go to the only member of the family who looks like he samples the product. Okay. Who's Clancy? Oh, one of the siblings, perhaps. I missed the fact that she had 3 brothers. So Zach is the oldest son of the firstborn son of the firstborn 5-piece. But Angie's older. So this must be Zach. Ah! Zach Wilson. I think that's the only Zach. Oh, it could be Zachariah Morden. Oh, I know how we can do it. Angelica Morden. Oop. I pressed the wrong key there. So it's Morden. Zachariah Morden. And Morden again, Angelica Morden. Okay. Oldest sister married at 19, which is a bit sits uncomfortably. I'm aware people do, but yeah, it's a bit on the younger side. So these are probably the brothers. That must be Eli there. No. Wait. Pop, Pop on the left, so that's Pop. Oh, hold on. Him. Wanted Eli to stand all the way on the left. Looked a lot like Pop did. So yeah, that must be Eli. Who's Eli? Elias C or Elias M Roottree. Married at 19 is positively spinster in some regions still. True, Scotsman, true. Elias C or Elias M, but who knows which? Okay. Flyer about a candidate for local office, Stephanie Jones. On the back is an excerpt from a newspaper article. May have grown up in an unconventional family, to say the least, but in her own words, it was still full of love. 22 years later, with a baby of her own due around Christmas, a message for voters: love is our future. No, we don't see eye to eye when it comes to the candy company, but if you could talk to your girls about putting out a statement supporting Stephanie, she could use the publicity your daughters bring. Don't let our conflict spread to the next generation. CM. CM. Caroline Morden? I suspect Caroline Morden. Okay. Which would be over here. I'm willing to bet that's Stephanie. This is Stephanie's partner. Stephanie Landon. Caroline Morden. And then politician? Politics. No, I've got the wrong name there. Okay. Then there's Mark Landon. Now it tends to use, I've noticed, it tends to use unmarried names for women. So I don't think this is Mark Landon. I think Mark Landon's going to be one of these two. Simply a picture of her campaign mailer, and underneath it says, "Be sure to read the Butler County Times." Okay. Video game called The Roottrees Are Dead was once set in Butler County, and it turns out the creator never lived in or near Butler County or even had any connection to Butler County. Nice fourth wall break. Butler County, Stephanie Jones. Born Stephanie Landon. Brian Jones is the local business owner, so that's probably him. Grew up in a home without a father. My mother and her partner. Distant cousin of the Roottrees, her mother Caroline, a local artist. Often come out opposed to the corporation's policies regarding deforestation of indigenous trees to expand their maple farms. Well, my mother, I'm not a fighter, I want to bring love to the world. Okay. So you're an artist. You're Brian Jones. And given the name... It says partner. Now, partner could mean just not married. Let's put Mark Landon in there for now. And we'll look up Caroline Morden. P flag. Parents and friends of lesbians and gays. No, you know what? I think that's Mark Landon and that's an unknown female. No relevant results. Yeah, I thought that might be a bit of a long shot. Okay. Last Roottree had announced that Sam, an obscure relative, was to be included in family gatherings. Granny had 2 sisters and Grandad had a brother or 2. Trim their branches from the family tree. So why Sam's special? Andrew summoned all the next gens to a secret meeting in Zach's office. Gwyn's in Paris, but the rest of us, including Miracle's boys, spent ages trying to unravel the mystery. Ever met Sam until Uncle Junior's wedding to Patsy last year. At the reception, when I was asked who Sam was, Pup shoved me and said it was complicated. Sam working alongside the farmhands EC and John when he used to drive past the old Anderson farm. Eli, Miracle's youngest, not my brother, even chimed in. Apparently when he was riding his mini bike alongside the farm a few weeks ago, Sam gave him some old tools. None of us think that proper for a multitude of reasons, but Eli certainly seems thrilled. Why an outsider is cozied into family affairs, one who works on the farm of all places. Whatever happened to blood is thicker than maple syrup. Why is Grandad making an exception? Danielle, he's barely 18. Danielle isn't much older. After all, Jacob and I got married at 16. Clark is a free spirit. Only one who has some discipline is Carl, but that's because Pop Fourth Clancy sent him to the academy. Yada yada yada. Next generation's always worse. Edward is even set to take over Pop's department once Pop retires. Zach's not a bad president after all. His sister seems to be doing a good job raising her twins. Gwyn is Gwyn, but at least she came out of the divorce with her head held high. Zach's not a bad president. Okay. Yeah, so Zach was president number 2. Clark married someone called Danielle. Danielle. Didn't see a Danielle there. Danielle Franks, they must have scrolled past it. There. Apparently they got divorced. And I think we can safely assume that that's the first marriage based on the age. Okay. So we've been through all the info we've got. We'll have to do a bit more digging, but I'm gonna be honest and say my brain is switching off. I know I'm a bit early, but I think I'm gonna have to wrap up here because I'm struggling to pass any information from this. Now, I'm struggling to really take anything in. Yeah, it is Storm, a very brain-intensive game. It's hardly surprising, considering the nature of the game. But yeah, I think I'm going to have to call it there for the night, just because I might need to break out the string. Might need to break out the string. But yeah, I mean, we did well. We did well. We've got quite a bit of more information in than I thought I'd get. But yeah, there's a lot to pass through. Of course, Storm. Is there any other colour? But thank you everyone for coming. Thank you for the help. Thank you for the resubs. It means a lot. It all means a lot. I will warn you now. I'm going to have to play Friday and Saturday streams by ear, just because I've got stuff going on. I don't actually have stuff going on Friday, but I've got to be up early on Saturday, and an early night would probably do me some good, to make sure that I don't fall asleep at the wheel of my car. So I will let you guys know if there will be a stream or not, but there may not be. I just want you guys to be aware of that. Apart from that, the Finite in Discord, you should join us there. Myself, Pax, and Elkhorn share that Discord, and it's full of wonderful people with plenty of different channels for you to hang out. I strongly encourage you to join if you haven't already, and that's where my announcements will be about the streams. You can also find me at 555 on YouTube, that's where my VODs go. I'm going to see what this VOD looks like before I actually make it public, because I don't know if this music was copyright. Now, I recognise one of the names, Kevin MacLeod, scrolling through, who I'm fairly certain does royalty-free music, but I'm not sure about the rest, and I'm not sure about the song that's part of the game, so it may not be VODable, if that makes sense. I'm not going to send you on a raid tonight. I have a very, very short raid list, and they're not people I would normally raid, so I'm going to leave it tonight, especially as I just want to get to bed. Thank you again everyone for coming. You've been absolutely wonderful. And I will see you folks all soon. Good night. Cosmic makes a very good point. Ginger is due to start streaming at 11, so go over to Ginger the Lily's channel and sit there waiting for her to go live. And send her my love, please. Send her my love. Because we love Ginger. Alright, good night, folks.